think we are recording.
I can't tell.
All right, it is. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our final general meeting of this semester. We are so happy to have you guys here. So let's get started right away because we have a lot of things to cover. So as always, you guys know that this meeting is currently being recorded and is going to be uploaded to our YouTube channel. If you are not subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you are. It is simply at Theatrical Players on YouTube. All right, so agenda, you know us and our agenda. Welcome to our last meeting, that's this. We're gonna have some announcements, some quick announcements. Our accomplishments, we have a couple of members, some are present here today that we want to give a shout out to. And then we're going to introduce our plans for next semester. So we're going to be talking to the seniors. There's a bit of a change coming on that we have to talk about. And we're going to have our spring production reveal, this big surprise that we've all been waiting for. And we're going to explain the ins and outs of it. We have a special guest who's coming to visit us. They will be here shortly. We are going to continue with our discussion of West Side Story. If you guys went to the streaming of it, we are going to be discussing representation in the arts during this meeting. We're going to wrap up the meeting, talk about all the key points, and make sure we answer any questions you may have. And then we're going to play a game. The game is Broadway Superlatives. We played this last year. However, it was in person. So some of you may not remember, some of you are new. So it'll be fun, don't worry. Let's get started. And remember, if you have a question, you can either locate the raise your hands feature or you can put it in the chat box. But just no talking on top of each other, just because there's a lot of things to cover. All right, let's get started. So hi, welcome to our last meeting. So very simply, the executives of Theatrical Players understand that this semester was like no other. And we would like to congratulate our members for pushing through and getting to the end of the fall 2020 semester. While next semester is not going to be what we hoped, and we're all going to be online still, we are determined to not let that stop us and continue making great memories with you all. So we have some spotlights. We had our voting, the musical, where you guys voted in your first 2020 presidential election, or your first presidential election anyway, and all of your amazing Halloween costumes. You guys were outstanding, so we wanted to feature you all. Do we have anyone new in the group? Let me run down. I don't think we have anyone new. No, we don't. So you guys should all be familiar with each other at this point, or at least know yourselves. So yeah, do you guys want to run through to get names and everything? You guys good? Feedback? All right, we'll continue. So announcements, our last thing coming up will be our Shrek the Musical Netflix party. It's going to be on December 9th at 7 p.m. and log on at 7 p.m. The start time is 7:15. As you guys know already, a lot of you guys have gotten the gist of it. The link to our Netflix party will be made available on our Instagram bio at about 6:45, 7 o'clock-ish. So stay up to date with our Instagram. And all you guys are in the group chat, so we'll definitely be talking about that. Also, if you guys are not on Discord yet, we also have a section for Netflix party. So if you guys want commentary and to talk while watching the musical, that is totally an option. But make sure that you have Netflix party installed on your browser and you know how to use it before we get started with the stream, because we don't want any technical difficulties like we've had with Goosebumps in the past.
Yeah.
So we're going to make sure that this is strong. I know a lot of you like Shrek the Musical, so it'll be a fun time. So accomplishments, there's a couple of people that we want to acknowledge in this slide. But first, let's talk about what we did as an organization this semester. We completed our first film series. Theatrical Players, as long as I've known with this e-board, has not done a film series. This was a big accomplishment to us as we learned how to act in front of a camera as opposed to a live audience. So that was really, really good. And Red Herring was pretty fun for the writers, for the editors, and for the cast and crew. We gained over 10 active members. You guys, this is pretty insane, especially considering that the fact stands that all you guys mainly consist of freshmen. That's amazing. That's absolutely outstanding. What's even more amazing is that you guys have stuck with Theatrical Players. Usually we get people who sign up just to put it out there. They sign up for Broadway tickets, they sign up to chill, but they never come when we need them to for meetings or for the productions or to be part of the cast and crew. And you guys are really stepping up to the plate. There is so much talent with you guys, and there's so much ambition. And I, for one, as your vice president, is so proud of you guys. And I know that everyone is proud of them too, right?
Yep.
E-board. Yeah, I know you guys are just an amazing bunch, and we're so lucky to have you guys here. And we welcome the new e-board member. This is Callie's first semester as a secretary, and she's done an awesome job. So shout out to Callie, we love you. Also, this semester, our members competed in the talent shows. Shout out to Joan and Colleen. They both were amazing. And I loved watching you guys. Shout out to Sam as well. Sam was the MC. He did a great job. Welcoming in some people to the meeting. Hold on one second, guys. Okay. So you guys went to auditions. I've been seeing you guys are performing or at least still acting. I know Valerie worked in a live haunted house this semester, which is always cool. She does it every fall. I auditioned for an anime. I'm currently involved. I haven't been casted, but I'm part of the group that will be supporting the Black Steven Universe anime that will be coming to YouTube in the next year or so. And release music. Your president, Jenna, is working on more and more songs. And I know, Jenna, if I'm wrong, isn't Body and Soul coming up soon?
Yes, I've been working with my team and stuff, and we're gonna make the video in January. I'll be going back to New York for that, and then we'll be releasing it at the end of January.
Oh my goodness. I, for one, Jenna, would love to see you when you come to New York. Safely, though, safely. And, you know, I'm so proud of you and everything. You know, this group, we're pretty cool. Like, I don't mean to say it like that, but
Pretty swell group.
we're a swell group, you know? And shout out to all of you who made your debut with Theatrical Players. Usually, if we were doing a live performance, we would invite you guys to step in front of the cast and you guys standing ovation, but we're going to do this virtually. Know that our love and support go to each and every one of you. Of these individuals making their debut with Theatrical Players, 4 of them are new members. So welcome to the family. We are so happy to have you. And all of you blew us away.
Yep.
From top left to right, Cassidy, Christina, and Kyle. From bottom left to right are Veronica, Sashi, and Joan. Shout out to you guys. We love you. You guys were amazing. You brought everything to the table. And I watched those tapes over and over again. You guys are outstanding. So much talent. Moving along, looking ahead to next semester. So seniors, there's quite a lot of you in this group. We understand that this is not the senior year that you've imagined, and some of us are seniors as well, and we sympathize with you. We are looking hard to ensure that class of 2021 is still able to receive the physical senior awards that they deserve for being active in Theatrical Players throughout the years. So this includes cords for you guys. We're currently in the works of trying to get that, but we will update you all when we have a solid answer as to how this will be done, if able, and how we will get the cords to you. But everything is pretty much up in the air right now. Know that we have designed them. Your treasurer has been doing an awesome job making sure that he can get you them. And
I'll take over from here for this part.
yeah.
So for seniors, the cords, I am still in the works. I know what they are. I know the prices, everything like that. It's going to take a little bit. I'm not going to sit here and be dishonest. It's going to take a little bit just because of everything going on in COVID. I have to figure out how shipping and everything's going to work. But as soon as I figure out what's going on, I will totally let the e-board know. We'll send out an announcement and we'll get everything moving. But just know, it's honestly, we got some time left, so I'll try to get on that as soon as possible.
Yeah, so what you can expect from us, cords aside, we're a senior award and recognition night, just like we did for class of 2020, except maybe better. Senior slideshow and other special recognition is also in the works. The executives are doing everything in their power to provide a memorable senior year for our many seniors given the circumstances, so we haven't forgot about you guys, don't worry. So a change of pace. With that, we have to talk about some change that's coming to Theatrical Players soon. So we are currently seniors. We will be graduating next semester. So that's your vice president and your treasurer. So this means that 2 executive positions are guaranteed to be open for new executives when we approach election season in the spring. So we encourage all of you who are new to Theatrical Players and have so much potential, and those of you who are veteran members and have so much potential, to stick with us and stay active with Theatrical Players as we approach election season, because change is coming soon. And we are so proud. We are so proud to come to this moment and get to see who will take over for us. So before I get emotional, we'll move on. So drum roll, our special guest is not here yet, but we will go back to this. We're going to be revealing our spring 2020 production, our spring 2021 production. I want to see all your faces when I do this. I am so excited. Ready? You guys are ready? We're doing Rocky again.
Yes.
Yeah, we are doing Rocky Horror again. We were so ready to do this. So yeah, this wasn't a really surprise, but we tried to make it as fun as possible. So let's start talking about this, and then when our special guest, our director, gets here, he will take over from there. So a lot of you are probably wondering, how are we going to do this? Excuse me. So we will be having the same casting process as last semester. So wait for instructions on that. The main things that we have to talk about are costuming and performing. How are we legitimately going to do this for an audience? And that's as follows. The cast members will measure themselves and will teach you how to, and you'll send in your measurement to satin worshipers. And we will discuss distribution and how you'll get your costumes at a later date. With performing, we will be performing via Zoom while the movie plays. So our director is also in the New York City Rocky Horror Picture Show Shadowcast, and they did, with a bunch of other Shadowcasts, a Zoom performance, which was very cool. They had just the cast in the Zoom call, so like we are doing now. The movie was playing, but those who were in the scene were highlighted, and your videos were on, not your mics, because you're lip syncing everything. And those who are also in the cast but are not in the scene would put this hide self option. So it's everything but virtual. And then that recording is going to be streamed on Twitch. So the audience is going to be watching it at home from Twitch. There's no rehearsals except the dress rehearsal to make sure that we get everything where it needs to be on Zoom. But cast members are expected to rehearse on their own and have the movie down pat. From those of us who are veteran Rocky cast members, it is difficult for some members. It's a lot of watching the movie and making sure you know exactly to move at what time, on what word, on what inflection on their voice. But you guys can do it. The more and more you watch the movie, it becomes like second nature to you. So that's that. And this is our director, Jon. He's in the New York City Rocky Horror Picture Show Shadowcast. He's amazing. He will be here shortly to talk to us about Rocky and how we will be doing. I'm just going to check the chat real quick. Okay. So yeah. So a recap. Rocky will be performed live. So a little bit about the recording, since we usually record our Zoom meetings. The recording will not be put on YouTube. We understand that a lot of you may feel uncomfortable, like if you're Janet or if you're Rocky and you have to perform Toucha and your grandma puts Theatrical Players Rocky Horror into YouTube. You may not want your grandma to see you doing Toucha, but we're not going to be putting it on YouTube for those exact reasons. There will be a recording. However, only the executives will have access to it, and only for promotional purposes. So the recording in its entirety will not be on YouTube. The show dates will be announced at a later time. We can give you, though, a ballpark estimate. We are looking to do it in April, so it can be part of CSIL's April celebration. So letting you know that in the month of April, there will be a lot of stuff going on with TP. So make sure you're involved. So moving ahead, and we can all unmute our mics for this. And if our director comes into the call, I will pause the discussion. We will go back and then revisit this. So moving ahead, let's discuss West Side Story. So knowing what we know about the original West Side Story film, we want you guys to share your thoughts to these prompts. You can pick anything. You don't have to answer all of these, or you don't have to even answer these. You can this is just to give you an idea of where to go in your thought process regarding representation through the arts. So how did the film depict Latinx individuals, and what could have been done differently? What are your thoughts about this film being referred to as a classic, considering the lack of proper representation? And as John Jay students, we are fierce advocates for justice. And obviously all of us here are avid lovers of the arts. So what can we do about this injustice? Are there any other films that properly represent these groups that deserve more recognition than West Side Story? And is it a little too late to introduce this film to the stage with proper representation? And how do you guys feel about the short-lived musical, which debuted and we were actually supposed to go see before COVID hit?
Yeah.
And how do you feel about the film that's coming up? You guys can unmute your mics and start talking. Anybody want to go first? Anybody?
You are more than welcome.
I'll go first. Okay, so, like as a Latinx person and as a Puerto Rican, like I have a love-hate relationship with this movie because like I love musicals and like I love Rita Moreno, even though she was the only Puerto Rican on like in that musical and everything like that. But obviously we had people, doing like blackface there, using a lot like these, like people who usually identify as white people, and they're clearly in like blackface and like overly bronzer and using very, very fake accents. So I mean, but then again, like it was the time of there, so like we didn't have a lot of representation in general. So it was kind of like you take what you take and you work with it. So I mean, we did get Rita Moreno, which I love, like I said, but it's hard to kind of like criticize things that happened like in like movies and stuff like that happened in the past because we can't change it. We can only do what we can now with what we have now and what we know now in order to represent people better.
So with that, do you think that they are going in the right direction with the musical and the film?
I think so because we have the representation there. As long as they, maybe switch some of the wording around and everything like that, because they did use like certain like slurs and everything in the movie. And it also depends, are they doing it in the eyes of like, like old school? Like, is it taking place old school or is it taking place in like 2020? And so the language has to change with
Good
that.
point.
The representation has to change with that.
That's a very good point. Thank you, Angelica. Does anybody else want to share their thoughts? Anybody?
Anybody at all?
Anybody? I mean, oh, go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, I agree with Angelica that like stuff like that, you do have to take it in the context of the time. And like, that doesn't mean that it wasn't wrong, but that's just kind of like what was happening. And then with sorry, you had one question. Okay, about the film being referred to as a classic. I think that's built a lot off of it being based on Romeo and Juliet. Like people love the story so much that they kind of overlook all of the more negative things about how the film was done.
Yeah, I never really thought of it from that aspect. I know that it was based off of Romeo and Juliet, but I never saw that as maybe the reason why it was deemed a classic. But now that you mention it, I could definitely see that aspect of it. I can say that for me, I'm mixed, so I understand that I do have a sense of white privilege, even though being mixed. But for me, it never even crossed my mind that Rita Moreno was the only authentic Puerto Rican individual on that cast. I had no idea. I just thought, I never imagined that people would do that. And it's naive of me to watch films and not give it a second thought. I think educating yourself, knowing what I know now, and thinking I should look back on other films, look at the ethnicities of who gets to play the supporting role, who gets to play the lead, who gets to play the comedic value, looking things like that, as opposed to just watching this movie and thinking that it's all in good, spirit, and it's a good movie and everything's okay, because it's not. And Hollywood and America is built off of prejudice and racism. And it wouldn't shock me, and doesn't shock me anymore, that Hollywood was the same way at some point. Does anybody want to join in?
Yeah, I'll build off of that myself, because even though I don't look like it, I'm actually mixed myself. But like you said, I have very white passing, so I have white privilege, which I recognize. But yeah, Hollywood is a very different place in general, because if you look at it, just if you want to talk about how they portray characters or like comedic reliefs, or even think about it, if you in old school Western movies, like where it was cowboys versus Indians, they actually had African Americans play the Indians solely. And every cowboy, no matter what it was always a white person. And every Indian would get shot in every scene almost. And it'd be for anything. And it's like Hollywood really has a lot of moments where you look back on it and you're like, this was so acceptable at the time. But as times pass and everyone becomes more open-minded and they learn things and they educate themselves, you realize how horrible it is that they portray people as people of color or minority groups as like lesser than in the films. Like, for example, they're like what Angelica's saying, like it was the times you got to do it and you got to take what you get. But honestly, at the time, there was definitely Hispanic or Latinx actors and actresses who totally, Latinx, I'm so bad, that totally could have played those roles. And it's just because that obviously the actors they had were more well known. They were like, well, we'll just basically blackface them. It's like, that's not okay.
Yeah. Absolutely. What do you guys think, going back to this question of, are there any other films that properly represent these groups? Is there any film that comes to mind that you guys think, oh, this should have the same hype as West Side Story, and this properly, and it's not getting as much attention? And if it's not getting as much attention, why do you think that is?
That's a hard one. I have to think about that one.
The Teacher in Me is coming out.
Wow, that was really tough.
I mean, I know there's that one TV show that everyone really talks about, One Day at a Time. And I remember that when, like, even now in movies, because movies, it might be a little hard, or just anything that's on screen. I remember a lot of people were upset that One Day at a Time, I think it needed to be picked up by a channel. Is that what it was? Like, it was going to be like off the air. And a lot of people were just like, no, like, you have no idea what this means to us. Like, seeing people that look like us on the screen, like telling our stories basically, or shows like the Netflix series On My Block.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
Things like that, where it's people like, oh, I love this show. I love this show. I love this show. And it's like, when you go past the surface level of you just like the show and you like the characters and you like the plot, and you think about how other people who might relate to the show, how they like to show, and try to understand it from their level, it opens your eyes on a different aspect. Anybody else like to? I see a lot of thinking caps.
I had to put my thinking cap on for a second.
Any executive want to jump in? We can continue if y'all want, but like, this is a really good discussion. I'm so glad we're having it. So,
well, I think there's still a lack of, it's kind of like zooming off from your question, but I think there's still a clear lack of representation in all forms of art, whether that be for music or movies, TV shows, whatever. There's still a big underrepresentation. So I think you were looking at the last question, right?
You can, anything you want to talk about is fine. It's completely open. I got a chat thing. Okay, Colleen.
All right,
Well,
Colleen.
so I think she just left. Oh, I hope everything is well. She's getting tested right now, so she had to go out. Hold on, I'm checking the.
But
All right, bye.
Bye.
kind of what Angelica was saying, even though, like, I think it being considered a classic is okay, but as long as we learn from what we've seen in that movie, in that film, I think it's okay to call it a classic, you know what I mean? As long as we learn about the representation and the lack of from that movie. I'm not really, like, that was my first time watching West Side Story, was whenever we did it all together as a group. So I'm not sure if this is a big conversation, like in the musical world. Like, do a lot of people understand about this misrepresentation in that? Or is it just something that people don't really think of? Like, for example, I didn't know that the only real blood Puerto Rican that was in that film was one person, because that is obviously a misrepresentation, especially because half of the entire movie is supposed to be Puerto Rican. So like, do you guys know, is this known in the musical world?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely, when I think it got resurfaced when the new musical was coming out and when the movie was coming out. And if I'm correct, I may be wrong, but I've looked at some clips of the musical and it seems like they're going even past the typical. I believe the Jets were either they were Irish or they were Italian. They were one European groups, but they went past the typical Europeans versus Puerto Ricans, and just Puerto Ricans, and they're branching out of, I think it's more Hispanics in general, and they're including African-American individuals in this, which changes the game in the sense of we get to see it from all sides, and which is, it's good. But when that started to resurface, I want to also bring up those of you who watched West Side Story. When we talk about Rita Moreno played Anita. Anita is not real, like, she's an important role, but her screen time is significantly less than those of like Natalie Wood or who played Tony, or whoever played Tony. I don't know who played Tony. But like Natalie Wood was like the whole movie. And when you think of West Side Story, you think of like I Feel Pretty, you think of Tonight. You don't think of things like The Song Like America, who was sung by Rita Moreno, and her counterpart, I forget who he plays, what character he plays, but he's not a Hispanic individual. And he does a lot of the singing. And they're using accents, and they're using poorly done accents, like extremely poorly done accents. I remember when I watched that when I was like 13, I do not speak Spanish, and I was not raised speaking Spanish, so I don't have a natural accent. But I used to think that was like the accent. I was like, oh, well, it's on, like, that's what these are at that, like, I didn't think that this was all fake, and that it was people trying to play not only a character, but trying to play an ethnicity. And I think that's different. You can play a character, but if you play an ethnicity, that's different. That's completely different. That's not fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody else who haven't? Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. I think one thing that is like unforgivable is the brown face. Like, because that's just, if you have to paint yourself to be someone, hire the real
Probably you shouldn't play them.
Yeah, like, that is just, I mean, that's one thing that, like, that's just unforgivable to me. And I'm white, like, I'm 100% white, and like that's just something that's so obvious. Like, you don't freaking do that. If you have to do that, get the real people. It just, that honestly really upsets me.
I mean, Hollywood does that a lot, not only in the terms of blackface, but like in on my blog, there's a character that plays a Mexican woman who has been, a Mexican American woman rather, who has been separated from her family because her family was deported, I believe deported, or they couldn't come back, or they their family is not in America. The family still lives in Mexico. And the whole theme of that season is her dealing with not being them and being with them and dealing with having to stay with another family. And people were outraged to realize that the woman who is playing that character is white.
Not only is she white, she also doesn't speak Spanish. So the scenes where she attempts to speak Spanish, they were really offended.
Not only that, she was white. She didn't speak Spanish. She had a very poor, and she's a Trump supporter. And people were outraged because it was like, you couldn't at least try to get somebody who agrees with the points of this TV show. Like, it's disgusting. Yeah, and then her character, spoiler, ends up being killed off at the end of the season. So she's gone. That's it. It's finished. I think this was a good discussion. What do you guys think? Do you think you learned? Oh, our director is here, so I think this will be a good
So this
part
would be a good way to
cut it off. Ready, guys?
Yeah.
Here he comes. John, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Oh, John.
Hi.
Yeah.
John, where are you? I don't see your little box.
My video was off for some reason.
Look at that guy. Twitch streamer.
Mm-hmm. Extraordinaire.
This is John, everybody.
What's good, y'all? All right, that's fine. No, that's
Yeah.
fine. Just don't tell me what's good. That's okay. I'll just assume.
You know what, John? You know what's good?
Did
I'm
you
good.
introduce
Are you
yourself,
good?
John?
Hell yeah. Heck yeah. I don't introduce myself. Y'all do that for me.
Heck yeah, dude.
Hell
But
yeah.
this is John. He's our cohort leader.
All right,
He's
all right,
also
Celine.
a
Hold on.
writing director.
I'll put you at your misery. What's up, everyone? My name's John. He, him pronouns. I am the evening coordinator at the Center for Student Involvement and Leadership. And I am also the assistant director of the New York City Rocky Horror Picture Show in New York City. Well, so before COVID, we were performing at the Chelsea Cinepolis every single Friday and Saturday night at midnight. And now we're not, for obvious reasons. So we'll get back there though. So I had to hop in. My partner was using my computer for a second, so I couldn't hop in. She had to fill something out for work. How far did we get?
I explained all of this beforehand. Hold on, let me go back. About the costumes, the performing, the casting. We haven't got into the casting yet. We're going to explain that more next semester.
Okay. Cool.
But,
all right.
Yeah.
Okay, so so let me give y'all kind of a little bit of a minor history lesson and kind of show you how this translates to, you know, a virtual world. So the Rocky Horror Picture Show is a movie that came out in 1975. It was based off of a stage show that debuted on the West End in 74, I think 74 or early 75. It was a huge hit in England, and Richard O'Brien, who is the creator of the musical, wanted to put together the show as a film. A lot of people consider this movie like one of the best worst films ever made, to the point where it kind of became a cult hit. The movie came out in 1975, limited audience, and it tanked like completely. Nobody went to go see it. It was weird. It's a weird movie to watch now, let alone in 1975. However, theaters were noticing that people started going to these shows strictly because of word of mouth. So like somebody would go see the movie and it would be really bad, and then they would tell somebody, "Oh, this movie's so bad, you got to go see it." And turns out that people who were part of like an alternative scene, you know, people who were you know, LGBTQ, kink friendly, poly, straight up nerds, like, were the people that were going to be seeing this, and they would always go at night because they felt as though that being able to go see it at night, people like you wouldn't see somebody who's going to see him, because, you know, back in the 70s, going to see movies at night was like a strange thing to do. So what ended up happening is that it became what is called a sleeper hit, which is a movie or something that gets out with very little promotion or starts becoming successful with very little promotion. And what ended up happening is that it was like the same people that were going to the show every single week. It got to the point where people became so like enraptured with these characters that they started dressing up as them. So people were, dressing up as Frank, as Magenta, as Columbia, and going to see this movie. Sound familiar? There's a little phenomenon that has since been created by this movie and this cult following called Midnight Releases. So I'm sure y'all, if you haven't done one yourself, you've probably been involved with one, but like when the Marvel movies all come out, everyone stands in line forever and they dress up as like Thor and Captain Marvel and shit like that. And they wait in line at midnight and then they all go in. It was a really big thing when Harry Potter movies were being released. Like everyone would dress up like as a little Harry Potter character and stand in line for hours before they got into the movie. This is the movie that created that stuff. This is the movie that created Midnight Releases. It was the first movie that was ever shown on a regular syndication at midnight in movie theaters and continues to do so today. The Rocky Horror Picture Show is actually the longest running longest running movie in cinemas in history because it has been shown in movie theaters regularly since 1975. Every single major city shows this. Obviously, New York City does. I'm part of the cast. But any other city that you can think of is also showing this movie on a very regular basis. So the reason why, and I'm sure Celine, Eric, Jenna, and Callie have explained to you, but this is a very interactive show. Traditionally, when people are performing it, there is an audience who is involved with the show to an extent. It's called audience participation. They yell things in conjunction with the movie to make the movie funnier, so on and so forth. And what ended up happening is that is actually something that is part of the original stage performance. They encourage audience participation. And as I told you, the stage performance came first. So during the stage performance, the audience was able to like get up and do the time warp and stuff like that. They were able to like, when people would like go in, they would get instructions on how to do the time warp and like when it happens. So everyone would know to like stand up and do it and everything. And that's actually what ended up creating what is called callback culture for this movie. It happened at the Waverly Theater in what is assumed to be around Halloween of 1976. There was a school teacher who went to go see the Rocky Horror Picture Show at the Waverly Theater in New York City. And for those of you who know the movie, when Janet gets out of the car and it's raining and she puts the newspaper over her head, somebody in the theater, which was at this point silent, yelled, "Buy an umbrella, you cheap bitch." And from there, that was what started it. And that was such a crazy moment because, again, movie theater experiences were A, during the day, and B, completely silent. And this person just kind of thought it was a great idea, which it was, to shout, "Buy an umbrella, you cheap bitch," and an otherwise empty audience, or not empty audience, otherwise quiet audience in 1975, and they took the audience participation portion of the stage show and combined it with the movie. So fast forward to 2020. Well, let's not say 2020. Fast forward to 2019 because we haven't really done anything this year. This movie is being shown in theaters all across the country, all across the world. It is a Halloween staple. But I personally believe that the Rocky Horror Picture Show actually has absolutely nothing to do with Halloween. It's literally just a Halloween staple because people are in costumes and makeup. It's not a Halloween movie because it's not scary in any way, shape, or form. It's more of it's more comedy than anything else. So but it becomes a Halloween staple. A lot of areas in the city will show it around Halloween. And traditionally, the Theatrical Players put on the Shadowcast performance of it on Halloween. Shadowcasting is a dying / already dead form of theater where people play a movie and the characters reenact the movie on the screen as it is going in accurate costumes, accurate movements, et cetera, et cetera. So we used to do that every October. But because COVID happened, like we ain't doing that now. However, I was part of a all-star show, which is a show that takes a bunch of Rocky performers from all across the country and puts them on one big show. It's called Concasting, and we did it for Halloween. And a few of the Theatrical Players execs were watching it, and they were like, "We can do that." And I was like, "Yeah, can." So that's the goal here. Now, I know some of you are probably like, "How does this translate?" You know, like how do we translate like this show that is so like bombastic and loud and in your face into the virtual world? It is entirely possible. I'm going to do a thing really quickly. I actually have a recording of the show, and it's going to be a shameless promotion for myself because I'm just going to shoot the scene that I did for the show, just to give you an example of how this works. Let me find it. Here we go. All right, so this is a video. For the show, I was Frank, and I did Sweet Transvestite, which is, you know, Frank's big song. Let me put my headphones on the correct thing. Great. All right. It was iconic as usual. Oh, Angelica, you were there. Cute. Boop. All right. So this is how this translates. So before I hit play, you can see that in the top left here, the movie is playing. So that's movie. And then we have CJ from the Florida cast as Brad. And actually, I don't know who the Janet is, but this is how it would translate.
John,
What's up?
we're recording. Do you want me to pause the recording since this doesn't go on YouTube?
Yes.
Okay, hold on. Can you stop your screen for a second?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll just say that afterwards. So with that video that I just showed you, that's how it translates. It's that with a combination of a chat feature where people will be able to, you know, get involved and do their callbacks, cheer on the performers, whatever it may be. This is kind of what theater is going to be like for the foreseeable future. So it's a good segue into kind of what theater is unfortunately going to be like for the next couple of eons. So that's essentially how it is. There's a lot of things different about a virtual show. The most different is the fact that when we're doing something virtual, the accuracy of the show honestly goes out the window. It's very, very, very hard for a show like this to be like directed, you know. It's really more about having fun. It's a lot easier to do than a regular actual full show, because there isn't much to learn. It's like, you know, the lines, and even if you do know the lines, there's not an internet speed on Earth that can make sure that that you're going to be synced up with the movie. As you can see, that was I probably have better internet than whoever recorded that, but still, it's always going to be off. It's really about the spectacle of it. It's the spectacle and the community that the show really prides itself on. And I think that's why Theatrical Players wants to continue doing it. So that's my spiel. That's Rocky. It's a really interesting phenomenon. If you want to learn a little bit more about like Rocky as a phenomenon, I'm gonna plug this. I'm actually part of a podcast called Rocky Talkie. It's a podcast that airs every Thursday. Myself, there's a girl, Nikki, from the New Jersey cast, and then Aaron, who is on my cast, who we all have different specialties. I'm the one who's really involved in the Rocky community. Aaron is the Rocky historian, and then Nikki is just the Rocky hoe. So
Aren't we all a little bit of a Rocky hoe?
Oh, you have no idea. So all three of us have like different perspectives of the community, and we talk about like the history behind Rocky, what mediums is available on. You can find it on Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts. I listen to it on Spotify. But yeah, if you go to the website, it'll show you where everything is. But you can just Google Rocky Talkie podcast and like everything will come up. But if you want to learn more about the community, more about like what Rocky, like you'd be surprised at how much stuff is going on in Rocky. You know, it's actually to the point where we have too much information that we can't fit it into a single episode, so we have to wait until the next one. We are like so oversaturated right now with information on Rocky that it's nuts. We talk about like some of the episodes that we've done so far. We've talked about why Brad and Janet are called asshole and slut canonically with the callbacks. We talked about like the different like releases of the movie. Like there are some releases of the movie that have certain songs in them, some releases of the movies that don't, some releases of the movie that are in black and white until Frank shows up. Like there's a bunch of different releases of it. There's one episode where we talk about the Rocky Horror porn parodies, which there are 3 of. And the most recent episode we talk about I forget. It should be coming out tomorrow. And the newest episode we talk about I have to look at my show doc. It's a super small podcast where we're gaining traction. We're only 4 episodes in. It's brand new. But we talk about, wait for it.
We talk about Rocky.
We talk about, oh my God. Why don't I remember this? It just happened. We recorded this on Sunday. Like why the timeline of the movie makes absolutely no sense. Like Frank sends everybody to bed and then immediately afterwards they have dinner, like stuff like that. So we talk about the timeline of the movie and why it doesn't make any sense. And we like break down, or we give our own theory as to why it doesn't make any sense. It's pretty cool. We're pretty entertaining. So if you ever want any further background into a movie that you probably don't care about, that the podcast is a good way, but it really gives you an idea as to like how much Rocky has influenced people. It is an amazing, like when we start talking about like LGBTQ representation in films and movies, Rocky was a lot of times, you talk to anybody in the Rocky horror community and at least 70% of them are going to say that their sexual awakening was watching this movie. Because they saw Tim Curry, who is a man, in a corset, women's underwear, and fishnets, and that did something to them. It is a movie that brought drag into the mainstream, because Tim Curry's Frankenfurter is peak drag. And if you look at a lot of stage productions, Magenta is also like peak bio queen drag. This was a really important show for the LGBTQ community, especially because it was in the 70s where rights were even less than they are now. It was a movie that was way, like, a lot of people use the phrase, this thing was way ahead of its time. Rocky very much was way ahead of its time, and it continues to be progressive and community building in its endeavors. So I hope all of you can get down to that. It's something that I really enjoy doing. It's something that the Theatrical Players have really enjoyed doing. And yeah.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, Jen.
Thanks, John. We're gonna have a blasty blast next semester. We're looking forward to it.
Heck yes.
So hard for you.
All right, let's continue. And John, you're more than welcome to stay for the game if you want to stay for a game.
I'll vibe.
All right, cool. So do you guys have any questions? I know we lost some people along the way, but do you guys have any questions? You guys can just unmute. No?
No.
Going once? Going twice? Goodbye. All right, time for game. All right, so Broadway Superlatives is the game. We did this last semester, a couple semesters ago, and you guys found it funny, so bringing it back. I know since everything is virtual, it's hard to get to know somebody, but from what you know of each other based on the meetings and how we talk to each other in the group chat, do your best. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take out a sheet of paper, or you can use your handy dandy little phone over here. And we're going to show you 10 pictures of different popular Broadway characters. And you have to write down who you think would cast those characters. So for example, if we show you a picture of Roxy from Chicago, you would put the TP member's name. You can count yourself if you think you would really nail that role, as long as we don't ask you to share and then you say all 10 are you, because no one wants to be that cocky, because that's not cool. So please try not to repeat people. We want everyone to feel included, and it's a great way to get to know everybody. It's fun. It's fun. So you won't announce it right away. I'll flip through the pictures, and you'll have a moment to jot down or type down whatever you think. And then at the end, we'll go through the list again. Ready? Okay, let me get my phone
I gotta get my phone. I'll be right back.
You guys ready? All right. I see some cameras off, so I don't know if you guys are here, but I hope you guys take part. I think we lost people along the way, but okay.
Might have.
Ready? You guys can all unmute your mics. Well, except John, you'll just vibe.
Unmuted.
Nice.
Ready?
Hola.
Okay.
Oh.
So Dr. Palmer and Jenna from Waitress. Okay. You guys ready?
I'm
Yes.
ready.
All good? Okay. So Alexander Hamilton and Aaron Burr, you can gender bend. Feel free to gender bend. I didn't mention that. Feel free to gender bend.
And we're only doing the people who are currently in here right now.
Yeah, I would say
Okay.
don't do anybody who's no longer part of TP, because obviously new members won't recognize them.
No, people who are currently in the meeting.
I mean, yeah, if we do that, we're gonna end up repeating people, so that's fine. I mean, you guys can just do whatever. All right, ready?
Yes.
Yeah. Angelica looks like she's still working.
Angelica's
You're
got
good?
I got it.
Thinking cap on.
Angelica's this is a very hard casting decision to make. All right. All right, Elle Woods from Legally Blonde.
This is hard.
Oh, and the dog's included.
This is hard.
This is not that hard.
It's a bit hard.
A little bit hard.
I love how the people who are saying that this is hard have been in the club for 2 years. Like, what? Like, you guys don't know who you would cast as those
I
people?
mean, there are multiple options.
There's multiple options.
There are multiple options for this.
Okay, so okay,
I'm
you
just
can
trying
do
to
an
decide who's the better
understudy.
one.
If you want to do an understudy, you can do an understudy.
I got it.
Okay, ready? You guys ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So the entire Frozen cast.
Oh. Are we counting?
Everyone.
Are we counting Sven?
Well, everyone that's in this photo. If you guys want to throw like Olaf in there, it's fine.
Oh, you're gonna have to give us a minute for this one.
All
Yeah.
right, yeah, it's okay. It's okay. You guys can do it. Just try your best, Eric.
I'm gonna repeat. I don't want to repeat too much. I'm not gonna share mine. I've decided. I'm just gonna put John.
You know what? Yeah, John. I think I'm gonna have to cast John.
I'm gonna cast John as every single role.
1 John, 2 John, 3 John.
John is multi-talented.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh God.
You know what's sad? I made these. I should already have my cast in my head. Okay, are you guys done?
Hold on.
All right. Oh, Kelly! Look at the corky!
Is that your dog, Kelly? Go grab. Oh, yes.
Yeah, she's the worst.
Oh, wow.
It's okay. Lucy's the worst too. Okay, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good. The Heathers. Be nice.
Oh, I didn't know we were saying who's who.
Yeah. Wait. What? Wait. What?
I didn't know we were
So
saying.
what did you do?
I just put down names. Do you wanna-
Yeah, you have to put who is who in that role.
Oh,
How are you
okay.
gonna
I'm only
remember?
gonna answer for 4. That's my best one.
My favorite part about this game is that I don't know who most of these characters are.
Just try your best. Trust me, Eric doesn't know either.
I don't.
He's still trying.
And then I'm gonna answer.
No, you have to answer.
I don't know.
Try.
Red, yellow, green.
Red, yellow, green. So we said, yeah, just people in this meeting, right?
I think we should just because, but just so people like aren't offended offline, you know what I'm saying, if they watch the video. But like for this one, like
Oh, we don't have many people here.
yeah, that and then also like this person who is not currently here has to be with this one, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
And here I was thinking of putting Cassidy for one of these.
Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Sure.
All right, classic.
Oh, okay.
Cast Rocky.
I can't.
Should we make it? Okay, hold on. You can't cast somebody who
The
has
people who
already
play
played
them?
that character.
All right. See, that might be an
can't.
issue for me because I've only seen people play these characters one time.
Okay, so just Anthony, try your best. It's not being graded. You're gonna be okay. Oh my god, this is gonna be like Rocky but on crack. Isn't it all anyway on crack?
Yes.
Who else is in the meeting? So many people have left that I'm just like,
If you want to count the executives, it's the four of us, Angelica,
Can we
Liana.
count Callie's dog?
What's Callie's dog's name?
Yeah, Callie, what's your dog's name?
August.
All right, August.
I told you August is a dope name, but nobody believes me.
Yeah, for a dog, not for a person.
It works for a person too.
All right, I'm good. Are you guys good?
Yeah.
No? Okay.
Okay, wait. Yes.
I just want to answer my own
You guys are good? All good?
Got it.
All right, now Brad and Janet. Okay, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, I think I need to make a correction. Okay, we'll just continue.
Who dat?
It's some person from anywhere goes.
I've never seen that one, so
I
I have no idea who this
eeny,
is.
meeny, miny, moe,
Eeny,
catch
meeny,
a
miny,
tiger
moe.
by its toe.
Does
It's
anybody
not-
know who this
no.
person is? I
Hey,
don't know who this
Callie,
person
you
is.
got it. Good job.
They're
I'm
from
just gonna-
Anything Goes, right? Or
Yes, from anything goes. I just looked up like
Yeah,
Broadway
she's the
roles
lead
that
of
I
Anything
haven't
Goes.
put in the
Y'all are
other one.
dumb.
You don't even know who this character is?
No, I
Based
just
on the
needed to
outfit,
fill-
I'm going to make my choice. That's how this be.
Aren't they on like the Titanic or some shit? I don't fucking know.
on the Titanic.
Wasn't that a Broadway show?
Yeah, ironically, Titanic the musical was on Broadway.
I was gonna say that's a killer outfit. I'm pretty sure she dies, so it did kill.
Okay, are you guys
I'm ready.
ready? I'm
Yes.
putting Mystery Girl.
I
Sweet.
don't know what the fuck that is.
All right, Catherine and oh my God, what's his name from
I don't know these
Newsies?
people either.
Newsies.
Jack.
Why? I know his name. I can't think of it.
Yeah, that guy. Oh, is his name Jack?
Jeremy
Like Kelly.
Jordan.
Jack Kelly? Is that his name? Where'd I get that from?
No, Jeremy Jordan.
Yeah, the actor's name. I meant the character's name.
Character's name for some reason.
Okay, I'm ready.
I don't know what the fuck I'm putting.
Just throw somebody in there.
Okay, I'm on the last one.
You guys ready?
I
Yeah.
just want number 4 specifically.
Already.
Well,
Okay,
me-
so I already know who that
Oh.
is.
Okay.
This one's easy.
Oh, I forgot
Fun
the
fact,
guy's
I'm
name.
actually writing. I have to write a song for my music final, and the song that I'm writing is for Ratatouille the musical.
Good.
Are we choosing someone to be the rat as well?
I just,
Yes, Remy.
wait, I just want
hello?
whoever.
You did
like,
not
was
just
put
say
as
the
Remy,
rat.
The rat.
his
The rat.
name is Remy.
so
The
just
main
that he's
character
called
of the
rat.
movie. How dare you disrespect him?
His
Wait,
name
what is that? A
Remy.
mouse? Just a mouse?
Oh
It's a
my
rat.
god.
Oh my gosh.
He is a
His
rat.
name-
His
first
name
of all,
is
his name is Remy. His name is Remy.
Wait, why is everyone offended I said rat?
His name is Remy.
His name is Remy, not
Well,
the
it's a
rat.
rat. Oh,
He has a name, you know.
wait,
and
I'm
he has
gonna laugh. I'm
dreams.
laughing. I'm
He has
laughing.
dreams.
Celine, you're
He has
gonna.
big
He
dreams
has
he
big
accomplished.
dreams.
Celine,
He had
What was the
dreams.
guy's
Right.
name? I forgot.
this is good. This is good. This is gonna be good.
Ready?
Yeah,
Okay, you guys are all ready, right?
Yeah.
Hold on.
I got to redo 2
Okay.
now.
I'm gonna restart from the beginning. Make sure everybody has at least one. Ready? Okay, I'm gonna go back. All right, for Dr. Prometer and Jenna, I guess we'll go down the list of what I have here. So the first one is Eric and I. What was your pick?
You and myself, check out our Halloween post. It's
You
literally
put
what I
us.
put. Check out our Halloween post.
I put both of you.
Okay, I actually I didn't want to put myself because I didn't want to be like, but I would love to play Jenna. I put Kyle as Dr. Pometer and Colleen as Jenna. I know she just left, but she just strikes me as a Jenna. Okay, who else? Any objections?
I think this is Celine and Eric. Period.
Who's in the,
Who? Jenna, what the hell? What?
Celine and Eric. Eric and Celine.
Oh.
Same.
Yeah, that's a safe
Yeah.
option.
All
Ever
right.
since Halloween.
So who did for this one?
I'm not gonna lie, I originally put
Okay, Jenna,
Joan.
what do you want to say?
Angelica
Oh, wait.
and Celine.
Who am I
Wait,
playing?
yeah,
I don't know. I've never watched Hamilton. Don't come at me.
Originally, I put Joan and Valerie, but Joan and Valerie aren't here respectfully, so I have to go back and do it again.
Are they
Um,
friends or are they enemies? I don't know. Are these two people friends or enemies?
They're
It's like a
frenemies.
friend. It's like frenemy thing.
Angelica and
Okay,
Angelica.
Really?
Angelica. Angelica and Dan.
Honestly, I put Jari as Burr and I put Joan as Hamilton.
I put Eric as Burr and I put John as Alex.
I can't wait for number 4.
Or respectfully, that can be switched. All right. Any other thoughts?
No.
Nah.
All right. Elle Woods and what's his name? Brewster?
I put August and Lucy.
August and
I
Lucy.
forgot to cast the dog.
I put
Cast the
Callie and her
dog.
dog.
Yeah, I
August
put
and Lucy,
either
I don't
Callie
know.
and her dog or Callie and Lucy.
I did Callie
I
and
did the
Lucy.
same thing. Callie and Lucy, or Callie and her dog.
You know what? I think Lucy and August have to go at it for who gets the role.
I have the real T right here. I have Lucy and August.
Oh, so
Oh,
which
wow.
one gets who?
They have to. Whoever wins the fight is the human.
Whoever wins
August
the-
has Lyme disease, so she's definitely losing any sort of fight.
Well, Lucy is just a little wimp, so she might.
I really thought you were gonna say my dog.
I'm
is
screaming at
paralyzed,
that.
so
I was like,
she-
Both of them are just
Okay.
gonna sit down.
next one.
Yes, and I would like to go first for this one.
Okay, go first. Do you know the characters' names?
Of course I do.
Okay.
I don't need to know the character's name. All right. Number 1,
Be
Elsa.
aware though that we still are recording, so like.
Elsa. John. The prince. I forget his name. John's beard. Anna. John's wig. And Kristoff, John's other wig. And I believe these are all suitable fits for this.
I love that. It's a John
Incredible.
musical.
John is a
Incredible.
one-man show, and he deserves as much.
I said the executives.
I really like the idea of John's wig coming out of his face just to perform his on.
I like the idea of the executives. Who's who?
Let's go Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah, that's a good
If
question.
you tell me that you don't know who is in this photo,
Elsa, her dude, Anna,
Her
and her
dude?
dude.
oh my god!
This ain't got no dudes.
We are currently accepting nominees for a new president. So anybody who would like to run for the position.
That guy in the rat,
Her
rat
dude.
Elsa.
Kristoff,
Right.
I think the one dude.
May I share my cast list?
Yes. What is your cast?
Okay, so I have Anna as Celine, Elsa
Same.
for Valerie, Kristoff for Eric, Hans is either John or Anthony, and then Olaf is me.
Oh,
right.
really? That's cute.
I put
Who's that?
Liana as Elsa, John as Hans, Celine as Anna, and Kristoff as Eric.
John, just remember I made you one-man show.
I put myself as Anna. I know she's not here, but she was here at some point. Cassidy as Elsa. I know I'm such an idiot because I'm like, you can't do people who are not here. And then look, I'm doing people who are not here. But I'm doing Cassidy as Elsa. I'm doing Kyle as Hans. And I'm doing Sam as Kristoff. Solid. I think that's solid. I think we can win Tony.
I like how we
Solid
all
as a
agreed that
rock.
Celine is Anna.
Yeah.
All right, next one. The Heathers.
I respectfully put the Powerpuff Girls. I didn't know who else to put. I didn't think too much into it. I thought
Who's
it was
Blossom?
respectable. Obviously the red one.
No, I'm asking, who did you have playing Blossom?
The red one.
Yeah, who did you have playing?
The red one.
Wait, what?
They're the Powerpuff Girls that goes color coordinated. Blossom.
Yeah, I'm asking you who is playing.
No, he coordinated the Powerpuff Girls to the Heathers.
That's what I'm
the
saying.
Powerpuff Girls
Yes.
are playing.
You're like this. You're like, so who's playing Blossom? The red one. So wait, who's playing the red one? Blossom, the red one. Buttercup? There's no blue, so yellow has to go to Bubbles. Unfortunately, there's no blue. Oh, look at that. That's totally Buttercup.
I actually agree with that. I think that's a good solid cast. I put again Cassidy as Heather Chandler. I put Angelica as McNamara. And I put Jenna as Heather Duke.
And I am Mojo Jojo.
And Eric's Mojo Jojo.
I actually did this very interesting. I put John as which Heather is it in the green jacket?
You could just say the green one.
Green.
one.
I put Callie as the red, and then I put Anthony as the yellow.
Actually, yeah, I think I'm putting Callie as understudy for Heather Chandler.
I know what you're
It's funny that I watched the movie and I still don't know their names.
I mean, you can do understudies if you want.
I did like a freshman
Is it a
cast.
good or a bad thing to be the yellow one?
Oh, the freshman cast.
Yeah, so I did the red is Kyle, yellow is Colleen, and then green is Cassidy.
Okay.
I like that. I like that. Nice. Anybody else? All right, let's go.
I'm really excited for the last one.
All right. What did you guys put? I put so I have two Franks. It can go either or. I put Jenna as Frank, and then I put Sam as Jenna's understudy. I did Callie as Magenta. I did Anthony as Riff, because I want to challenge you, Anthony.
Oh, wow.
And I put August, because I ran out of people. I put August as Columbia.
I put me as Frank, Callie as Magenta, Liana for Columbia, and Anthony as Riff.
I put Eric as Frank, Celine as Columbia, Sam as Riff, and then Callie for Magenta.
I did Callie for Columbia, Eric or Sam for Frank, Joan or Jerry for Magenta, and then Jenna or Liana for Riff.
Is it the hair? Is it the hair? I think it's the hair. It's the
Hair's
hair.
getting
Yeah, it's the hair.
Oh, yes.
Curly
What-
gang.
What did you put?
I put Sam for Frank. I put you for Columbia. I put Anthony for Riff, and I put Magenta for Callie.
I think we've all decided that.
Kelly is Magenta.
Yeah, you
Callie
hear
is
that, John? The people want a Callie Magenta.
The people have spoken.
People have spoken, John. All right, next one.
Angelica is Brad, and I put Jenna as Janet.
Oh, that's cute. I didn't think that is cute. I put Angelica Brad, and then simply because they played Brad last year, I put Liana as Janet, just to kind of switch things up a bit to see.
I also put Liana as Janet.
I put Sam as
Jenna as
Brad and myself as Janet.
I put
Anyone
myself
else?
as Brad, and then either Jari or Celine as Janet.
That's cute. I like that.
I put myself as Janet, and then I was between Sam and Anthony as Red.
Role reversal, Callie, you're Brad next year. Liana, you're Janet.
Switch
Oh,
your
role reversal.
Callie is like I am.
You're
so
Riff, I'm
not
Magenta.
doing that. Oh, that is not happening.
Gotta get you a bald cap.
Oh, that's not happening.
I'd literally rather die than be Brad or
I've made the solid decision that the Trixie for this year should be Lucy, and we should just do a pre-recorded thing of just like taking Lucy's collar off and then taking Lucy's harness off. Like we could get to
And then
like
you just
Callie.
shave the bald top.
I feel like that would make people uncomfortable.
Yeah, she's like in an Easter outfit.
We have to dress up Lucy.
She's in her
Okay.
onesie.
All right. Mystery girl.
I put
Who's
Callie.
Mystery girl?
I know the fuck.
Is it because
Put
Callie's
Angelica.
blonde?
I
Yeah,
put
that's
Callie
exactly
or
why.
Colleen.
I really put Callie.
Any
as
blonde it goes to Callie or Colleen. I put Jenna
I feel
for
like she's being
Mystery Girl
typed-
just
I feel
because
like
I
she's being
think that
cast as a certain
outfit would
type.
be so cute on Jenna. Okay.
I put you because of your
put
presence on
Celine.
stage.
I put
Mhm.
Celine.
That is a cute outfit. I would like to wear those pants. I like how I'm going based off the outfit and not like who is the character, what is the musical about.
I have no idea what the
Watch
music's
this
about.
character be the worst character in the movie.
Yeah, we're just
This
like
character's like
right.
is like the actual villain, and like they like kill everyone. We're like, haha, this is such a good outfit.
Watch this
Oh,
character
this is how
killed
you
like
live.
half of the cast.
All right, ready?
Yes.
Newsies people.
I didn't know who these characters were, so I copped out
Yeah,
and said
I
Selena.
literally
Okay,
put-
mystery characters. Who did
I
you
put Jenna Lady and Sam Guy. I didn't know what else to put, and I didn't know their names, so I was going to distinguish them.
I put
I put-
Liana and Sam.
I put me simply because I want to wear that outfit again. I know nothing. Like, I don't know who this character is, but I need to wear that outfit and I need to have that wig or that hairstyle. And then I put Sam as the Newsies person, whoever that is. 'cause I just think that's an outfit that would look good on Sam.
I just put Newsies girl and Newsies guy.
Newsies girl, Newsies guy.
I'm excited for the last one.
All right. Okay. I think
I would
Alright.
I would like to go last, please.
you're going last.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
Save the
All
best
right.
for
Who wants to go first?
I would like to go first.
Okay. Go ahead.
Remy, me, and Linguini is Eric. That would be.
I did
that
the
would
same
be-
thing.
I didn't think about
I did
that.
the
No.
same thing. I put myself as Linguini, Angelica's Remy. We gotta
I
make
put Lucy and
Ratatouille.
Eric.
Oh, that's cute.
I
Lucy
can't.
and Eric.
Lucy, get on my
Lucy.
No.
over there.
Go
She's
get her.
sleeping.
Go get her. See,
Oh my
see,
God!
baby.
Look at the dude's thing. His thing right here. His hair. Look at it.
Has
They
hair
got a
there?
little t- they got
Yeah,
a little tongue.
I'm shook.
How did I? How did
Here,
I
sit down,
know?
Eric.
I've
You gotta figure
seen,
this out. Sit down.
I've seen this movie at least 3 times, and I've never noticed that guilty.
The swan is so beautiful.
What are we looking for?
Okay, I put the fact that he has a little beard.
Yeah, you guys didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
No, I never
Okay,
noticed.
I
Oh,
put-
Eric, you didn't know that either.
I put John as Remy because I think that is
Am I
just
Linguini?
and I put actually no. I put Anthony as Linguini
How dare you not pair me with
and I
Jonathan?
put Sam as Understudy.
Can I be the
Actually, that's pretty close to what I put. I put John as Remy, and then Sam as Linguini.
I think you're gonna make your debut as Remy. Yeah, you like that idea. Okay, I think this was good.
That was good. The last
That
one
was
was
good.
great.
Good job,
Very
guys.
professional.
Good job. I think we made some solid choices. Okay,
Night,
so
night,
I guess I'll
everyone.
stop the recording. Thank you guys for coming. And if you have
Night, night.
any questions, email us or DM us. Bye, guys.
Love y'all. Peace, y'all. Have a good day, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.